When did you realize your accident wasn't actually an accident? The crash happened while I was driving home from my evening shift at the hospital where I worked as a nurse. I was taking the same route I'd driven hundreds of times before, a familiar road that I could navigate in my sleep. I remember feeling tired but alert, looking forward to getting home to my apartment and unwinding after a particularly stressful day in the cardiac unit. I'd been working double shifts for weeks, saving money for the vacation my boyfriend Marcus and I had planned for Christmas. The last thing I remember clearly was approaching the sharp curve near the old bridge. I was going the speed limit, maybe even a bit under because I was in no hurry. Then suddenly my steering wheel locked up completely. I yanked on it desperately, but it wouldn't budge in either direction. My car went straight instead of following the curve, crashed through the guardrail, and tumbled down a steep embankment. I must have hit my head because everything went black after that. I woke up 3 days later in the ICU with a concussion, 2 broken ribs, a shattered collarbone, and my left leg in a cast. The doctor said I was incredibly lucky to be alive. Car accidents like that are usually fatal, Dr. Rodriguez explained. The fact that you survived going through that guardrail and rolling down that embankment is nothing short of miraculous. Marcus was sitting beside my hospital bed when I regained consciousness, holding my hand and looking like he hadn't slept in days. He said he'd barely left the hospital since the accident. "I thought I'd lost you," he whispered, tears in his eyes. "When the police called and said you'd been in a serious accident, I couldn't breathe. I've never been so scared in my life." My parents flew in from across the country, and my sister took time off work to help care for me. Everyone kept talking about how fortunate I was to survive such a terrible accident, how it was a miracle I was still alive. The police report concluded that mechanical failure had caused the crash. According to Officer Thompson, who investigated the scene, my steering mechanism had malfunctioned, causing me to lose control of the vehicle. "It's rare, but it happens," he explained when he visited me in the hospital. "Sometimes a component fails without warning. Modern cars are reliable, but they're still machines with hundreds of moving parts. There's really no way to predict or prevent something like this." My insurance company accepted the mechanical failure explanation without question and agreed to pay for my medical expenses and replace my totaled car. Everyone seemed satisfied with this conclusion except me. Something felt wrong about the whole situation, but I couldn't put my finger on what exactly bothered me. Maybe it was the head injury affecting my thinking, or maybe it was just the trauma of nearly dying, but I had a nagging feeling that I was missing something important. Full story on channel link below.